Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Computer Wednesday, we're going to talk about AI hype news of early 2026. Like Q1 is almost over, so let's see what's what. First hype is Claude Mythos, and it's basically God in a box. It can break everything. And basically, what does that mean? Break everything. Meaning, if you let it be in the free internet, it can just like figure out repository, go back and hack everything. As in backdoors, zero-day exploits, glitches, bugs. Basically, nothing is safe from it. And I mean nothing, as in operating system, binary libraries, and basically networking. Nothing. Flat out. This is like drop this box, the end. And this is such a big threat that government, corporation heads and banks, they are all in a group chat now known as Project Glasswire to fix the vulnerability beforehand. And public cannot get access to it because it's too dangerous. And you do have to understand that I have to say, they have said one thing that was humane and smart of them, that if they can make it, somebody else will make it. So this is almost like, while American presidents had the stupidity during Manhattan projects to think that, oh, just they are the one who can crack it. It's like, no, once you showed that it can be done, every Tom, Dick and Harry will crack it individually or via spy mission. The only thing would be time. Same thing is here. Like once Claude showed that this something like this could happen, even just the idea, it will happen. It's just that how long? Like it could be 1 minute from now, or it could be 500 days from now, but it will happen. However, is this a threat? Here's the deal. If you are old enough and if you have memory longer than few minutes, you must have remembered we had almost exact same thing when quantum computers started to become a thing. Quantum computer is going to break the encryption, it's going to break the backbone of the math, and we're going to be like, yeah, and like, whoa. And yeah, nothing. I'm getting too old. So fundamentally, 99.9999% chance is just hype. And are there systems that can crack it? Yes, of course there are. They always have been. It's just that it's not efficient enough to just any Tom, Dick and Harry to do it. And by the time it becomes efficient enough, hopefully other systems would have figured it out. And if security researchers are doing their job, they will fix it. They will work on it. And that's what they get paid to. Like we went from algorithms that was super easy to crack in quantum computer to quantum computer resistant system. Same thing will happen this also. There will be upgrades, there will be refinements, there will be reinforcement that will make it more robust. Not guaranteed, like nothing, like there is no thing as bulletproof. Same thing as bullet resistant. Same thing will happen here. It's not AI proof, it's AI resistant. And be mindful, the year 2000, the millennium bug that would have caused collapse, it did happen. It's just that thousands of engineers worked their ass off before that happened. And ironically, the guy who did discover it, everybody mocks him, but like he was the reason why world did not went boom, because he figured it out, people took it seriously, worked their ass off day and night to update and life patch everything, and then people are like, oh, see, nothing happened. It's like, yeah, because I worked. So same thing happening here. So you do not have to worry about it. Will in future somebody will create an AI system that can hack systems? Of course it will. Would that cause collapse, end of the world scenario? No. So don't worry about it. And this literally looks like desperate move to cover up another big oops moment, which is Claude leak itself. So Claude code in 2.1.88 leaked the whole goddamn source map, as in the full source code. You have to understand this. Like there are two packages. First package is the actual product. For example, firmware in my printer, it's there, it's working, it's on the microcontroller, it is running the system, everything is fine and ready. But here's you can't recall how the heck that firmware was made. It's like a final food ingredient. You can figure out what went into it, but you can't figure out how it went into it. You need the source code. That's what we say, open source. So just because you have some free application or cracked application does not mean you know how it works. All you know, this application works. How is unknown. Source map is that how file. So almost fully readable 5 lakh lines of code, as in 500,000 lines of code, was released. So yeah, let's just say that was bad. Now here's the how could have this happened? There are multiple reasons. First, there was a glitch in the library, I would say. They use bun, and again, there was a notice in the GitHub that bun has done this mistake accidentally, even though it was set not to do it, and it still happened. So there was a warning, and this exact thing happened. Another thing is, people have seen under the hood, and reality is there is no magic. So it's almost like if you ever seen industrial machine. I do have the luxury of going to Expo and all that, and they have like this big industrial machine. You're like, whoa, this is magical, and you open it and see it. It's like, bruh, this is a ESP32. Of course, industrial one, but you get the point. It's not like, whoa, black magic technology. Like once you really understand enough electronics, you look into Apache helicopter, it's like, whoa, like it has this eye tracking system. Look into the, bruh, this is 1970s hardware. Like you get the point. Like once you really dive deep into it, it's no longer magical. Same thing happened here. Now what is in there that gave it so hype? Well, it is polished. That's factual true. Like somebody put some effort into polishing this puppy. It's not just blunt forcing it like ChatGPT was doing, like, this model, that model. No. They put some effort into it. So polish was there. And they put lots of guardrail, poison pill also. So if they were detecting that, you're like, hey, are you trying to backtrace my ability? Again, that's what happens if you don't have the source code. You have to backtrace it. It's like, okay, it has poison pill. So if it detects like you are trying to backtrace it, it will give you pseudo answers that will confuse your AI that is trying to crack it. Feedback loops, and again, let that be very clear. Every engineer knows, every scientist and mathematician knows that feedback loop is the key. AI does not learn and improve from itself. It does have some memory, but the core structure does not change. That's why if you are working with a ChatGPT and if you taught it like, hey, ESP32 had the LED changed library, so PWM does not work the same way, change it. It will do it. It will give you a right code, but it will make the same mistake again. It's not changing the, like, change, it does not actually gets absorbed in it. Why not? Well, again, the maths is unstable. So again, you have to be a mathematician to truly understand that. This was explained to me. So feedback is the main weak link. That's why we do not have like, super duper advanced AI that can like, bro, tell me what you want, I'm gonna code it and it's gonna work. It's not there because feedback loop is not there. This puppy, compared to normal systems, have 3 feedback loops. This has 11 steps it's doing before it gives you something. So yes, there was a lot of aura around it, but that aura is gone. It's like, it's gone. It's like you're seeing a random dude and like, he's just like looking very, disheveled, and like you're just watching a lot of girls around there, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, the bruh is rich. He's a billionaire or something. Then it's like, bruh, we know your aura. So same thing happened with Claude. It's like, bro, we know your aura. Now, it could have been a rogue employee, although let that be very clear, this should not have been possible. It could have been a mistake. This definitely should not have been possible. A rogue employee, depending on how high they are in the food chain, they could have caused this sort of damage, but a mistake should not have allowed that, because that's the whole point. $100 billion company should not be like, oops. Like, that's why we build checks and services. That's why everything goes through quality control. That was the whole point of the ecosystem. Like, a plane does not go like, imagine a plane, like, pilot is flying and go, choo, plane crashes. That's not going to happen. Plane has like multiple layer of redundancy for this exact reason. $100 billion company should have that. It should be like something. And you are making AI. How about a checking AI, just a QC AI that's like, yo, my man, whole source file is there, pushing it into the GitHub. How about no? So that's why. Whatever is the cause, unless it's a rogue employee, because again, you can't withstand a rogue employee. It's almost like, no matter how advanced your Air Force is, friendly fire will still delete you. So same thing is with a rogue employee. So barring that, it looks bad. It looks bad. So it's literally making a scenario where claw code is now coming into market. It's just that Mythos looks like a cover-up story for this stuff. And again, people made so quickly people figured it out. What the hell is this? This is the components, these are the bridges, these are the hooks, these are the like everything so quickly. It's just like, I see it. It's no longer like, whoa. So this is Claude Lake that happened very recently. Now we come to Turboquant. Now, Turboquant is mathematics that is beyond mathematics. Basically, this is what you do with mathematics. It's high-performance quantization algorithm. Now, let the bigger. It's not AI. It's a tool that allows your neural network mathematics to be done correctly or more optimally. Basically, the idea is more in less space. Basically, you're shrinking enough of the node mathematical vectors that you can use less RAM to do the same work. So it's basically low loss data compression. Let that be clear. It's a low loss, not zero loss. It does have some loss, but you will not notice it. It's almost like, MP3, when it had like went from, we used to have like full CDs, like 700 megabytes, and that used to only contain like 40 to 60 minutes of music, that audio CD. And then we went to MP3 and 320 kilobits per second MP3 compression. It's good enough. Like, you really can't tell that much difference. So same thing is happening here. Are there lost data? Of course there is, but it's not collapsing the system, meaning it's fine, it just works. And most important part, Google has a good track record of basically releasing core mathematics, and they released it and published the paper about it, and other scientists replicated it. That's how we know this is not hype, this is actual truth. And they did manage to save RAM, did manage to have very minimal performance loss or no performance loss in some designs. However, that's the true part. Non-factual part would be the 2 to 4x data savings. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not how. Basically, it's like taking massive, that required like 16 gigs of VRAM, shrinking it to like 12 gigs or 8 gigs. That's happening. Not taking something that requires 128 gigs of VRAM to small units. That's not happening. Again, some model in some sense is almost like your car's mileage. It's like if you are driving in this road perfectly flat, no accelerator, it's like everything is locked, no braking, wind is perfect, temperature is perfect, then you will get this something like that. So 4 to 8x savings is not there. 50% is. 50% is. Now, is that significant? That's shut up, take money. That is so big that it single-handedly made this line that was going up to stutter a bit. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. So that's a big deal. Now, does that mean RAM prices will come down? Eventually, of course. But this was a first what you call crack in the bubble. I was like, it's not popped yet, but first pinch has happened. Now again, people went back to saying, no, but this means more and more people will buy AI. It's like, AI is already overvalued. You can't do much other than giving everybody AI girlfriend. There is nothing that you can do with AI that will make you money. You can't replace employees with expensive AI because companies don't pay employees that much. That's your fixed budget, man. You can't do much. So again, this $100 billion. And again, how can I trust Quad to do anything if they can't contain their own source code? Now we come to the most serious use of AI is US-Iran war. Now you have to understand, Iran is huge. It's almost like Iraq. It's huge. It's 17th largest country, 1.65 million square kilometers. This puppy is huge. It's almost like half of India. It's huge. And US compared to Iraq war was posing a lot of challenge, and they were having a lot of hard time because Iraq was coming up and going back, and they could not do anything about it because again, unless the plane was literally on its track, as in it was just doing a routine patrol and noticed the missile launch and then it went. Other than that, they were not able to hit it. It took very long, very tedious time to whittle down the air force of Iraq. Iran, on the other hand, got kaputted very quickly. How? Air Force and synthetic aperture radar. Now, be mindful, the technology was there. It's just that few of them were there. Now they have so many of that. By some metric, maybe more than hundreds of synthetic aperture radar that is in low Earth orbit, as in it's gonna scan every square meter of that 1.65 million square kilometer almost by a time gap of 10 minutes or maybe less. Meaning they could literally have, this area was scanned. How latest is this picture? Yeah, 5 minutes later, another pass. 5 minutes later, another pass. So they do have bonkers development in the scope, basically how much they can, and be mindful, they also have other drones also. So how much of this 1.65 million square kilometer they can track? The answer is yes. But here's the problem, the data stream is too huge. Can they track it? Cool, they got the radio, they got the antennas, they got everything, and they can stream all the data into Pentagon. But here's the, what after that? How the heck are you gonna process it? Okay, missile requires some sort of filtering, but do you have that exact satellite? And again, if you are talking about a big, complex of buildings, which building? Where did the truck go? That's not good enough if you have satellite in geostationary orbit. So they needed a way to filter the data. Basically, thousands of terabytes of data is being created per minute, and all of that has to go through a AI. Basically, that's the first time a human mind capability has become, because what can you do? At best, you can say, hey, CIA, track this one guy for 1 square kilometer. Let's say per guy 1 square kilometer area. They're tracking whole thing, whole surveillance stream and all that, 1 square kilometer. And they have to track every car and everything. So it's like, oh, this is the head, this is this, this is this, and let's boom this, 1 kilometer. You don't have enough population to do that. So that's the first time they had to use AI for full scale war. AI has been used from day one. It's just this is the first time full scale use of that. We going boom boom to you, and we're gonna use full AI for that. AI dumped all the data into the domain. Basically, where did that data from satellite went into domain? I do not know the name. If you know, please type it down. I do not know the name of the domain. And it did the sorting target list. It figured out this building you need to boom. This building is where the missile is coming. This is the entry point of the mountain terrain. Again, it's very difficult to see satellite photo, even if it's a very high resolution, as in like a 1 foot per pixel. You still would have very hard time to see where is the tunnel entrance are. But if you have synthetic aperture radar, it will like, bruh, human-made object. Natural rock, human-made object. It's super, what you call, precise in those sort of distinction. So, and again, this becomes a very good training ground for America, because America is planning for going boom boom with China, and China is huge. It's huge. So China's surface area is so large, and not to mention China does have more boom power. So it won't be like Iran, where like Iran day one, they are firing almost 100 to 200 missiles to like, yeah, they are barely able to launch 2 to 3. And they dropped it down. Like, you must have seen that, like in the early days of news, hundreds of missiles, every news, like, you know, this many things got hit, this many things got hit. But what happened now? Yeah, they are no longer able to do saturation because of this AI utilization. So somebody is making a lot of money now. And the target aim is to have this in the theater of war itself, as in AWACS platform should have it. Meaning if satellite is going above the affected area, basically above Iran, the AWACS or the aircraft carrier, they should directly get the data. It should be processed there and then directly come out. Because again, if you can shrink the response time, you could have dropped that, like, you know, the 3 to 4 missile to 0 very quickly. But again, that last bit of noise reduction is very hard. So this is there, and this is the next frontier. America sorted the space part. They have SpaceX, the end. There is nothing else that is even comparable to it. And other companies are also coming in. Others are like claiming that we're gonna do it. America did it. So, and assuming other companies, even half of them are competent, they will have more than enough space power, space asset to be like, bro, we good. We got this. Even if all Starlinks only have one monochromatic camera looking down, it will have so much energy that is like AI would be like, brah, 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 brah. That's a human structure. Even in a cloudy scenario, even in night, they will be able to do that. Because again, so many of it is there. Oh, and there is a mathematics that allows you to create a hologram if you have multiple data points, which you have if you have lots of satellites. Each satellite orbit has like, give or take, 80 satellites, 80 nodes that are going fixed time distance. Landscape, buildings, they are not moving around. So you can do amazing things. So that's the next frontier. That's how America wants to make sure that they can handle China going full boom boom on Taiwan. Let's see. This guy, but did not last, man. Like, come on. So even Saddam Hussein is like, bro, I lasted. Come on, man. Now we talk about you and I, as in RAM shortage. Consumer RAM price has went stupid. Like, this is a very unique graph to show that. Like, we went from 100 euro. Okay, that was the baseline. It went. So by 1 January and February, it has went to 400 plus euro. However, only after February, it started to come down. And why is that? Well, mega corporations are cracking. People are noticing it, that NVIDIA cannot deliver anything that, like, you know, every claim cannot be true. Basically, S-curve. If you know anything about product development, you know there is a S-curve. Early days, you will have massive upgrades. But after a while, it will like, bruh, like, you know, even with flat panels. Once we created OLED, now you can make a brighter OLED, you can make a OLED that lasts longer. This did not last longer, it has already burnt pixels here, but you can do that. But you won't be able to like, whoa, like going from, let's say, normal LCD to this is like, whoa. But going from, like, you know, a RGB backlight to this is like not that big of a, again, everything has this S-curve. So that is being felt that, yeah, you took $100 billion, GG. What about revenue? Or your whole model is like, you know, just selling everybody to like hot potato game. So it is cracking. And there was first time ever back off happened. It's like, and from a big puppy. Basically, Sam Altman, the system, they had a RAM deal on March 2026. And that was like 900,000 DRAM wafers. This guy is so greedy, he's not even asking for RAM chips. He's like, bro, wafer, I need the wafer per month. That is full capability of planet. 40%, one company, planet's basically resources, one company. And they did memorandum of understanding. This sort of thing cannot be just like, oh, I said it. Like, it has to be done through official channel, memorandum of understanding. Only then people will start working on that. That was done. And now they have scaled it back. That led to the first time it's like, whoa, this gravy train will last forever. So First thing. Another aspect is Turboquant is just one step. You have to understand. That's why I said, like, pay attention to S curve. If you do, you will notice that's how things work. Like how much energy back in the days TVs used to consume, and big TVs was like hundreds of watt. Now we don't even pay attention to it. Computers, like, again, that's why computers are not becoming like multi-kilowatt equipment. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to become efficient. And again, data centers sounds good. And again, from a company point of view, it actually is very good, because if any Tom, Dick and Harry in their lab, home lab, can just cook up a good AI, that's kind of defeats your purpose. That means if you have a good mathematician or quality mathematics, maybe that mathematics itself leads to something better, which again, Turboquants prove the core point of it, that it can be done. Just because you have reached, let's say, 12-dimensional mathematics on vector space storage does not mean that's what it is. Like somebody could figure out, hey, we can collapse that 12-dimension to 3-dimension and have noise in the data, so it does not have the issue of snapping. Basically, data gets collapsed like this. Again, lossy data, but if it's not collapsing, it's saving this data, you can utilize it. And it will happen. Basically, all AI system will become AI, what we call lightweight system. It's not in America's best interest to have latency of, like, China is further away. So China to USA to Chinese war front, yeah, that's not acceptable. But China, satellite to directly AWACS aircraft or aircraft carrier, because again, I don't think AWACS has enough horsepower, maybe 4 megawatt, maybe 8, that may not be enough, but aircraft carriers like, bro, I got this. Aircraft carriers like, bro, I can take this. I can tank 20 megawatts of energy consumption. Should be. Newer ones I have heard, like, they have way too much overbuilt capacity for this. Although the original design was for railguns and lasers, I think AI will consume all that extra power. So RAM shortage should come down. Again, if people can hold on, don't do the stupid thing that we did with graphics card. Hold on for, let's say, end of this year. I do expect this to come down, hopefully. But it's basically a holding match between corporations and people. People are poor, so they should be able to hold on. So let's see what happens. So this was my presentation on basically AI hype things. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please hit the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me your disappointment. Please leave a comment, because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.